welcome, welcome. By the way, this is a special episode because I talk with a lot of Anglo Indians, and I talk with a lot of other people who are not Anglo Indians, and the distinction does not matter. But I thought it'll be interesting to explore a little bit culturally, what it is, how it is from an experience standpoint. Growing up as Mike is an Indian Christian, which I think is the closest cousin to an Anglo-Indian culturally, and his perspectives on having Anglo-Indian friends and interactions, and just learning from an outsider's perspective, as opposed, because Anglo-Indians in our own circle, we just hang out, we go to the same thing, speak the same language, and that's fine. And although there was never any constant awareness, but I think it's good to stop and check, like, hey, what do you think about Anglos? As did you think of us as when you went to school and you have met up with friends, were your first interactions, like, are these people different? Who are they? And stuff like that. So just a curious conversation. Mike and I are good friends. We've known each other for a long time, maybe too long.
Very long time.
But yeah, we can chat. Mike, welcome. Tell us a little bit about you and where you're from. Mike's an awesome photographer, by the way, and he looks like a constable with that mustache. He's not a constable. He's a photographer.
Yeah, I just had it done yesterday, so I just wanted to look a bit, civilized. Andre, thanks so much. I'm feeling overwhelmed at this moment. I mean, this is my first time being interviewed. You said it's a special episode that kind of overwhelmed me, and I'm so delighted to hear that word, especially from you. Thanks for this opportunity. Yes, I was born in Coimbatore. I used to say, like, I keep saying that Coimbatore gave me life, Madras helped me to live that life, and currently Vellore is doing that part. So these three cities are, close to my heart now. When I was in my kindergarten, my parents put me in a, primary school, like it had till
Your
the
kindergarten,
5th grade.
was this in Coimbatore?
Coimbatore, that's right, exactly. In a place called Sai Baba Colony. And the school where I did my kindergarten, like, it was run by an Anglo Indian lady. She was Mrs. D'Souza. She passed away recently in her 90s. And she became like a very good family friend. My grandmother, my dad's mom, they all moved from Sri Lanka to India. And she was very fluent in English, Sinhalese, Tamil, and she was fluent in Malayalam also. Now, when she was fluent in English, she could communicate with the, Anglo-Indian people there fluently, and that kind of like made an impact, like in the sense like they became friends. And our family is very well known to them because my sister used to take part in all those school activities, whatever competitions, the singing competition and dance program and all those things. She used to take part. And this headmistress, Mrs. D'Souza, is the one who used to choreograph. She was well into her 50s at that time, during the early 80s. We used to call her Big Miss because physically she was quite big, the imposing look. But she's such a fantastic lady. She's not just a Big Miss. She was not big in her physical appearance, but she had a very big heart as well. You won't believe, I told you, like, she was 50 years and above at that time. And when she was choreographing a dance for a Tamil song, it's a bucolic song, music. It needs to be peppy. She used to like squat on the floor and jump, like spring up like a frog with one leg stretched outside and things like that. It was amazing. She used to come to our house. We were living in a very small house, and she will come visit us whenever she could. And when I fell ill, I vividly remember this. Even though I was in my kindergarten, I can remember these instances. There's 3 or 4 instances vividly. I was ill, like I had measles or something at that time, and she came home to visit me. Christmas, Christmas time, it was so nice. The evenings were special. Her
Yeah.
husband used to dress up as Santa Claus,
Uh,
and he'll walk around the classrooms and he'll hand out the gifts. They had two sons. The elder son passed away some years ago. He was a very handsome guy. His name is Denzel. Every time we pass his house, you can hear the songs being played, like all this Western music.
uh,
One time I heard "Gotta Go Home." Like whenever I listen to the song Boney's "Gotta Go Home," I'll remember them, Mrs.
mhm.
D'Souza's family. So it was like that. Yeah, they made an impact. See, Anglo Indians. That was Mrs. D'Souza and her family members. They were the first Anglo Indian family in my life, I should say. Like we got to
What's
know.
her first name? Do you remember?
I don't remember the first name, unfortunately. We just remember her as Mrs. D'Souza. I'll try to
Anyway,
get.
the D'Souza's
Uh,
from Coimbatore. So early on, you've had experiences of going to Anglo Indian school right from a very early age. You probably did not think of it as anything unique or different. It was just a thing. So as you grew up, it was just another thing.
exactly.
It wasn't. You weren't introduced to it at a later stage, right? That's amazing. Um, but so talk to me, man. I want to understand. I know, oh, just definition wise, right? Indian Christians, but your parents are from your dad's from Sri Lanka, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he was born in Sri Lanka,
Yeah,
and my dad's family moved to India in 1964.
yeah. But
Yeah.
Indian Christians, by definition, were like Indians who converted to Christianity somewhere along grandma, grandpa,
That's
whatever,
right.
right? Where like Hindus, obviously, or could my most likely
Yeah.
Hindus, right,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
converted to Christianity. So that's amazing, and I find that fascinating. Like I call Indian Christians our closest cousins because if you were to draw a Venn diagram, right, of where
Yes.
people, different cultures mix, hang out, right? Obviously, in school, it's a circle. Everybody's in there, right? Everything overlaps: Christians,
Right.
Hindus, Muslims, and atheists, and everybody, right? You
Yes.
leave school and you go home, and it's still about the same, right? You're hanging
Yes.
out with everybody, but then when you go to church, the separation is pretty drastic, right? And that's where the Indian Christians and the Anglo Indians. I know it's a weird definition because one's a nationality and one's cultural, one's an ethnic group and one's a. But it's weird to say Indians and Indian Christians because we're all Indian. I'm Indian as well, right?
Okay.
um, but I think that's where you guys, Indian Christians and Anglos, have the closest overlap in church, and the Hindus and the Muslims fall off from that Venn diagram. So I find that fascinating that uh, but still you're so different, and you're so unique, and we are so unique, so but we've never talked about, like, hey, what do you think, or have you ever given that thought, so and it's good to go along in life, like you, with not giving it thought. Even it doesn't need some thought at
Yeah,
the
I was
same
too
time.
young for
Yeah,
yeah, I was too young to know about the distinction.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, the experience was quite different. Like the experience I had with my Anglo Indian friends and friends from other communities, there's a kind of difference. If you ask me, like Anglo Indians were like a bridge, between us, native Indian. That's like I'm for the lack
I
of
know,
words.
weird term. I don't know how to define it, so
Yeah.
for the lack of the right, I'm just going to use two incorrect terms. If I say I'm not willing to say you're Indian and I'm Anglo Indian because that's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to use a mixed terms: Indian Christian, Anglo Indian.
Anglo
Uh,
Indian.
might not be the best way to do it, but I'm not an
Yeah.
expert. I did do
Yeah, I'm not an
sociology in
expert.
school,
Yeah.
but but let's but yeah,
I
carry on.
understand. So they're like the bridge, or I should say, like a window for us guys to know about those Western aspects, especially music. Uh, uh, you know, when I became friends with Nuno, like he was the one who used to talk about all those rock bands. Uh, Before that, like I had a very, you know, limited exposure to Western music and things like that. Like when Nuno came into my life, like he's the one who said, "This is Aerosmith, this is Guns N' Roses." you know, that's how I got to know about Western bands. Yeah, we used to listen to Western music, but it was limited only to ABBA, Boney M, or Michael Jackson to a certain extent, and Giorgio Moroder. Without knowing the name, like we had the album From Here to Eternity. We got confused with the name of the albums between From Here to Eternity and Man Machine. We thought it was Man Machine, but later on we understood it was by Giorgio Moroder and things like so. Only few bands we were aware of, but after I got, I mean, I became friends with Nono. I got to know more about those bands, and of course, um, how they celebrate their vibe. They're jolly good fellows. Like at least 1 in 5 people will come with a guitar. Yeah, that's how I knew Conrad. Conrad's the guitarist. That's how I know. I got
So
no.
so yeah, let's did by the way, did you have a picture of Mrs. D'Souza you wanted to show me?
Yes, I want to show the picture.
Yeah, she sounds like an awesome lady. Let's see
She's
her.
a fantastic lady. It's a group picture though.
Okay.
Select a tab to share entire screen.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
I'll show a picture of Mrs. D'Souza. So you grew up in Coimbatore. Were there plenty of Anglo Indians? Obviously, you went to was it an Anglo Indian team type of school? It sounds like an Anglo Indian kind of school,
Since it was
right?
headed by the Anglo Indian
Nuns.
lady, but
Yeah,
I mean, students from
yeah, yeah, yeah.
all the other communities also were studying it. It was not an Anglo Indian school as such, but it was primary school established by this lady, and she's
Okay.
such a fantastic lady. And she, two other, instances that I vividly remember are a puppet show she brought to the school. No, you know how she knew how to engage the students. Like people, the students like us would love to go to school. She made sure that the students are, not getting bored or being afraid of coming to school and things like that. So she brought a puppet show. I remember the puppet show, and then she also brought a handler with a tortoise, a animal handler, and he brought a tortoise, and she showed it to us. Like it was like an exhibition or something like she made sure that we are not bored.
Mm.
All those
Sounds like a
instances.
sounds like she loved the job,
Yes,
and
of
sounds like a
course.
great lady. Yeah.
And my sister was one among her favorite students because my sister was good at dancing. And at one time, like during a singing competition, she had to recite a poem or a song. I don't remember properly, but she was ill, very ill. My sister was ill. Still, she delivered on the stage. And as soon as she finished, like the entire audience were applauding, like mad. But this lady, she came rushing to her. You know, she just grabbed her and gave a big bear hug. My my mom and my dad passed away in 2001. Like they used to, you know, uh, talk about that
Mm.
day every now and then. Even now, my mom, she whenever I talk about Mrs. Dizzo, she'll say like how she came and hugged her and things. Yeah, very lovely lady.
Yeah. We all have
So
our
that's
teachers. Yeah.
yes,
That's
and that's
amazing.
that's my very first experience with Anglo Indian without knowing that.
Yeah.
Okay, she's an Anglo Indian
She's
and
an
things
Anglo
like.
Indian.
So how I got to know about Anglo Indians and what kind of memories they
Yeah.
made for me, such people and my friends like you and Nuno and others in the subsequent years.
For the
And before
people,
that, it was a
for the people
yeah
who don't know Nunu, this was so. Mike, you're jumping from Coimbatore to Madras.
yeah
Um,
because we moved
and
to Madras in '83 after my
yeah,
UKG.
yeah, yeah, and Nunu is actually Anthony Fosbury
Fosbury.
from an Anglo Indian from Nagaland who moved
All right.
to Madras to study some kind of engineering, and
Yeah.
that's where kind of Mike and I met. So
Right.
so if we're throwing out names like Nunu, people might not know who that is, but I just wanted
Sorry.
to add some context. Uh, yes. So
Thanks
yeah,
for it.
so yeah, back so just to set the stage, right? So the first experience when you realize like, oh, these are a different group of people, culturally, ethnically, whatever, right? What was your experience like?
Um, what should I say? See, it's not a culture shock or something, but there is certain difference, uh, like how they carry themselves. Like I said, like one in 10 of those Anglo guys, at least one will have a guitar. It's like
Yeah.
that. So, music. Um, they're flamboyant, they're vibrant. That's my personal experience. From my personal experience, I'm telling, like,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
just jolly good fellows. They know how to live their life and things like that. Like, almost all of them, all of those Anglo Indian people that I met, I'm telling, like, I never seen one person brooding over one place, or you know, sitting dull. Like, they were just full of energy. Maybe I was fortunate enough to have such people, meeting
yep.
such people. I cannot typecast or stereotype somebody. Like, see, they're Anglo-Indians, they'll be like, no, I cannot say
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But the difference, what I felt in them is, table manners for that matter, like the elderly people in the house, like how they, you know, s- sit for their lunch, the tablecloth neatly spread with
yeah.
flowers and all those things, the cupboards, the record players or music system, and the collection of their, and I was so gobsmacked by looking at your cassette collection, like
Yeah.
some 500 or 1,000 cassettes you were having at that time. So, music, cuisine, like, I'm not so familiar with the names. I must admit, like, one of the best sambas that I ever had was at an Anglo Indian house. Can you
Really?
believe? So I cannot, like, I'm unable to say, like, see, Anglo Indians are like this. I cannot just typecast them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't think it's typecasting. I think noticing differences is just there's nothing wrong or right. I think
Yeah.
different is different, and I
Yes.
think that's great to notice that. I can tell you, like, I've, like, I've never noticed any difference in any friend till I was much older, and I realized, and I went to his house, and I realized he was Indian Christian. I was probably in the 10th standard, uh,
Mhm.
and I moved to a new place, and there was this guy living down the street. His name was Sundar, you know, he was just a friend, and I went to his house and met his family. We were the same age. We would hang out. I'd go pick him up to play cricket, and then I saw him at church, and then I put it together. Oh, so he's an Indian Christian, and then all this cultural. But that's about it. Okay, I
Yeah.
got it. You're an Indian Christian. I had enough information in my brain. I got it, but that's about it. Went to his house, noticed it was totally different. I don't think I've been into anybody's house other than an Anglo Indian guy's house. So it was different walking in and seeing the way his parents reacted.
Yes.
Like if you walk into an Anglo Indian house, you can say, good evening, auntie, good evening, uncle, right? And they'll say, hey, man, like, like blah, 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 because there is no new information to download. We can just start from like just have a
That's right.
conversation. But going into it's almost like going to another country, culturally at least, so it was different, and it was kind of cool. But we lived down the street, so we got to go there regularly. Yeah, so
That's
it
right.
was. So I never really had to think about it much till I went, oh, okay. The culturally they are a little different. They might go to our church, and his English was okay.
Hmm.
I think most Indian Christians go to the same schools, even I think,
Yes.
so his English was okay. He was not as, yeah, it was okay. He was okay, but that was my first experience, probably in like 10th standard, I think, really,
Hmm.
in noticing that, okay, I'm in a this is an Indian Christian, and this is who they are, right?
That's right. That's right.
So for you, was Nunu the first person, or Anthony Fosbury? Was he the first person?
Uh, yeah. First person. I'm sorry.
Was he the first person where you noticed, like, oh, they are different? This is a different group of
Yes,
people.
of course. Yes, of course. I should have the kind of feeling when I met Nunu, and also, most notably, Aaron Crocker.
Yeah, Aaron Crocker.
Yeah, I mean, I owe a lot to him because he took me to the next level of understanding the genres of all the music bands and things like that.
Yeah,
The Atlantic tapes. I
yeah,
think he was sharing some of those tapes from you also, right?
yeah, yeah,
So, of course, when I went to his house, yeah, that's what I tell. Like, when I enter an Anglo Indian friend's house, how the table is set,
Yeah.
the showcase,
Yeah.
the things, the cutleries and plates and all those things that is neatly arranged. The way they go to dress up and go to the church for the mass, or any festivities during Christmas or New Year and all those things. Um, Neatly dressed for the occasion and things like that. So whenever I hear the name Anglo Indians, all those things come to my mind, and also their contribution to Indian cinema music. Also, I think I've been talking to you some time ago. So whenever I listen to those, the chorus, the Anglo Indian ladies chorus, it's distinct. You can
What
very
is the Anglo Indian ladies chorus? What is that?
the chorus part in all those Tamil songs, like
God.
Cinema
Okay.
songs.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Not all the songs. I won't say like all songs. There were many songs with that kind of chorus. Like you can immediately say like it's an Anglo Indian chorus. The tone, the way they sing, those musical terms like soprano or tenor, or the kind of the style of singing. It's very vivid. So these things, uh, like the kind of music that I heard and all those things, were you know it made an impact in me, in the sense like what should I say? Like that's how I got to know about Anglo Indians, and then their part in taking Indian railways ahead. Their contribution, those engine drivers, gods. I don't know, like the number is quite less now, I guess, because many of them have moved away to other countries and things like that. So that's how I got to know Anglo Indians as such.
Yeah. Dude, all the things that you're saying, like even like it's been so long for me because I'm so far removed from, uh,
Yes,
uh,
the scene.
it's been so long. But I remember, dude, like just when you're telling me about like the tablecloths, I'm like, yes, the cassette collection, it was, yeah, just saying tablecloth. I haven't used that word in ages. I haven't seen one in ages, but um, it was such a cool thing. I remember my mom putting a tablecloth. We even had, I was just trying to look up what it's called, a kettle cover. We would have a
Yeah,
kettle and we'd have like a little warm, like a glove on the kettle,
that's
um,
right.
which is kind of unique. I don't think many people were doing that. Uh, you know, so that's fascinating. You took me back to my own childhood.
Happy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That even things that I forgot. Um, so so like I was talking about the Venn diagram, right? Like we probably like school, everybody, blah blah blah, hangout, social circles, church. You grew up in your teen years. Where did you grow up? Somewhere outside uh,
Tirunendravoor, that's a
Tirunelveli.
suburb,
Yeah.
29 kilometers away from Central,
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know.
which
I
was
remember that. Did not remember the name. So were there many Anglos in that area?
uh, in the early 80s. There was an Anglo Indian family living opposite my aunt's house. The dad's name is Mr. Barclay. He had two sons and a daughter. Am I allowed to say the names?
Yeah.
Yeah. The two sons' name were Winston, and the younger guy's name is Danny, and the girl's name is Susan. Very nice people. Yeah, whenever they visited our aunt's house, like they were just like they were very comfortable being with us, hanging around, and they were very fluent in Tamil. They spoke Tamil very well.
Yeah.
It was quite
Yeah. See,
surprising.
that's even in Anglo Indians, right? And I was thinking about this, uh, the overlap is just it's such a crazy mix, like some Anglo Indians are just fluent in Tamil. Then you have people like Aaron Crocker,
I can't
who
speak a
could not
word.
speak a word of Tamil, and like because his circle of influence just wasn't Tamil wasn't required. It's just a weird thing, even for me, right? I mean, my Tamil is horrendous. Uh,
I won't say
you
it's
know,
horrendous, but maybe you didn't have the chance to communicate with those folks. I mean,
yeah,
the big circle.
yeah, yeah, we just grew up in a circle. So,
Yeah,
like I said, but in 10th standard was the first time I realized like there are Indian Christians, but yeah, some my sisters are fluent in Tamil. They're probably fluent. they probably understand more Hindi than I do, and I took Hindi in school. Even it was my second language,
Okay.
right?
How did
Um,
you fare?
I did okay. I
You managed.
got the bare minimum to see school through. Then I took French
Good.
and struggled even more. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, but it wasn't the language. I was just not a good student in general.
See,
But so so was the like culturally, w- when you in when you were growing up, like did you have obviously when you go back, right, from college, you go back to your house, you're hanging out. Did you have your own set of friends, just a good cultural mix that were non-Anglo Indians?
yes, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. And did they have
I was very close with Nono in my 12th grade.
yeah,
He was my close friend.
yeah. But apart from that, how was your friend group? Was it when you went home, right, in Thiruvananthapuram? What?
Tirunendravu. Yeah,
Pur.
Tirunendravu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have a did you obviously there were not many Anglos, only for that one family, or right? Did you have your own set of like non-Anglo Indian friends?
No,
What was
yeah.
life like?
In my neighborhood, I didn't have many friends. I was not mingling with many of the people in my neighborhood. I go home, I spend time just being with myself. It's like that. When I don't have any, I was not a studious guy. Uh, After going home, take a Walkman, go to the terrace, watch the sunset, and sitting and listening to the music,
Mike's a
brooding over
romantic.
something. And then I just come down. Yeah, I was listening to Lobo at that time, and during the train journey, like every day, I have to commute by the suburban trains, right? By the time I return, like when I take the train back home, I'll make sure that I'll get a window seat, sit, play the Walkman, listen to Lobo songs, and then when we cross the big lake in Ambattur, you can see, during December the sun will be at the southern hemisphere, right? Like it just sets, and it'll be a beautiful sight. The red sun going down, listening to music. It's like that. So I kept to myself. I didn't have many friends there during school days. I did my 11th grade, like in 1993. My dad used to get transferred once in 3 years or 4 years, like that. So we kept moving around. I was born in Coimbatore, was living, we were there till 1983. After I finished my kindergarten, 1983, we came to Chennai. I'm sorry, Tirunendur at that time. And we were there for a couple of years. And then 1985, we moved to Mayavaram. It's called Mailadurai now. And we were there for around 4 years. 1989, we moved to Coimbatore again. And then for 4 years we were there. 93, we came back to Tinanur again. So from 1993 till 2020, we were there. So during my school days, Nunu, and from that time, since
Wait, which school
1994,
did you go to? I forgot. Uh,
11th grade, I
Baines.
studied at Seventh Day Adventist.
Okay.
And I had to move from there for my plus two to Baines
Matt
Memorial
Baines,
Baptist
right? Is it
Church.
called Matt
Yes.
Baines? Was that because of you or no? They named it Matt Baines.
That's a nice perspective. There was There were much worse, guys who were much worse than us, madder than us. Yeah, that's opposite. What is it? St. Joseph's,
Yeah.
Vepari.
Matt Baines, I mean, sorry, not Matt Baines, Baines School.
Yeah.
Was that like a Protestant school? Was that
No, Baptist. That's another
oh,
congregation, like
really? It's a Baptist?
Baptist
Wow.
church. Yes.
I'm for the first time hearing of Seventh-day Adventist and Baptist schools in
Seventh Day
Medra.
Adventist. Yeah, that's another one.
Holy
Another
moly.
group. And this is another sect or congregation. How should I
Yeah.
say? I don't know the perfect word. So Baptist church. And I love their mass for one reason, because it's the first time I ever saw the communion, the actual bread, like a piece of bread or bun, I think they'll give it with one shot of wine alongside during the mass. So it's the first ever time. Like it'll be this big, you know. I don't know how it's happening now. So I was fascinated by that. Was the first time I saw that. And at that time, we became friends with the watchman also. His name is Noel, Mr. Noel. He was an Anglo Indian. He's a very nice chap.
Interesting. So
Nono
did you
and
go to
myself were friends
church?
with him. I'm
So
sorry.
did you go to did your family go to church where, or was Baines School the only source of church for you?
No, I
Where,
had to attend one mass for some reason, like it was associated with a school activity or something like that. I don't know. I just attended
but
it
your
once.
family in general wasn't like a
We
church
are Roman
going.
Catholics.
Yeah, but did you guys go to like church every Sunday as a family? Was that
Uh,
instituted?
yes, we used to go together for Christmas Mass, New Year, and all those things. And sometimes Sunday Mass also. We were religious. I was religious at that time.
Yeah.
Um, and
Did you go to the English mass or the Tamil mass, or did they
Tamil,
have, and
Tamil Mass.
they went to the
Very
Tamil mass?
rarely attending an English Mass. Like if we come to once or twice, we came to Perambur Church, the big church there,
Yeah.
right? I forgot
Yeah.
the name. Lourdes, or some
Lourdes,
Mary.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember the name properly.
It's Lourdes.
Forgive
Yeah.
my memory. That's a big one with the kind of red domes. You know? It's a beautiful church. So once or twice we have attended the mass. That's it. Nothing beyond that as such. Like this is, and after my dad's demise, like I became kind of aloof. Like I'm not that religious for my personal reasons.
Yeah. So Baines was also like kind of a, but they were Anglo Indians, right? The majority of them, or was it
Not
run by
majority.
Anglo Indians? Or
No,
this
no,
whole
no.
Baptist thing is throwing me for a loop.
That gentleman, Mr. Joseph Baines, the principal. I think he's not an Anglo Indian. If
Was he an American? Was he a missionary or something?
no, Indian,
He was Indian.
Indian, Indian dude. He passed away some years ago,
So
but his
Baines is not
yeah,
an old school. If you went there when the founder was there, was he the founder, or was it a
I'm not sure
family
who the founder was,
generation?
but the church is pretty old. The Baptist church is pretty old. I think
Interesting.
it was established in the 1800s, if I'm not wrong. Maybe I can just look up for the
Holy
information.
moly!
Yeah, I don't know how old the school is. Like I studied only for just one year. I did my 12th grade there. That's it.
Yeah, and that's where you met Mr.
No,
Anthony
no,
Fosbury. No, no.
Fosbury. I'm very thankful for that. We are still
Awesome.
friends.
Was he just happened to be the most friendly guy, or was he the only Anglo Indian guy that you latched onto and connected over music?
First thing, like I don't know. People shouldn't mistake like it's kind of a bromance or something. No, but he was a Tom Cruise in a bunch, right?
Tom- I'll I'll edit that part out so Nunu doesn't get a big head.
Yeah, like he made heads turn. Like girls were going crazy. Uh, he just joined. Like I after a couple of weeks, I think I joined in June or something, and joined he rejoined after his 11th grade. He went to his hometown in Nagaland, and then he came back after a break. Very first day, we just caught up with them. Like I mean, we caught up with each other, and I introduced myself. I was not fitting with the other bunch, but somehow I don't know how to explain. It's quite inexplicable. I mean, myself and Nuno became friends, and the very first day, both of us went together to the canteen, and we bought lunch, and we had. So from then, like our friendship started. Like and he's the one. It's every time he'll sing some songs, he'll be humming some songs, and I'll ask what song was this, and he'll say this is that. I got to know about Aerosmith from him only, and he used to keep singing. There was a time. I used to ask what is that song? He said it's Aerosmith. And he'll give the tape. He had the tapes from Nagaland. It looked like a book. It won't be a hard shell. I hope
Yeah,
you
yeah,
remember
yeah,
that. It's a
yeah.
compact pack. So that's how I got to know about Lobo and other bands, Guns N' Roses. Yes, that's my acquaintance with Anglo Indian dudes.
Yeah. And
I
then,
them I got to know about you.
yeah,
I mean, I got to know you, Aaron Crocker, Jeffrey here, Anthony's brothers, and then Angelo.
Yeah, Angelo. Angelo's a good dude.
Where is he in touch with you? I don't
No,
know.
dude, I think, oh God, I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right on this. I think Angelo passed away.
What?
Yeah, a long time ago.
He was born in Sri Lanka, right? He was from Sri
I
Lanka.
think so. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
But yeah, just to, just for context, like Anthony or Nunu, as we call him, uh, moved from Nagaland and was actually staying in my neighbor's house for a little while, and then he got his own place, which is still like just opposite, almost opposite my house, and that was the hub. That's where Mike
Our
would come hang out.
in
Um,
screaming for vehicles.
and we just chat and good times. That's where our friendship bonded. We would just hang
That's
out,
right.
talk music, play guitar, play caroms,
Yeah.
and sorry mom, but smoke a lot of cigarettes.
Gold
um
flake.
fun time gold flake. So so did you ever go to like a dance?
I was something was ringing in my mind, and you know, came up with a question. Dance and Mike, we are light years apart. Like
Uh,
the very first party, I should say, birthday party I attended was Nicky, the drummer, right?
yeah.
Nicky Fee grade, Mark Fee,
No, D'Souza.
Nicky D'Souza. Who's the
Nicholas
drummer? Mark Fee
D'Souza.
grade.
Mark Figuered.
But the birthday
Mark
was
Figuered. Both are drummers.
oh, both the drummers. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had bunk. Aaron said, "Hey, Macha, come, let's go." Hey, the art of bunking started with Aaron Crocker, I should say. He's one who said, "Macha, come,
Mm.
okay, don't worry, come, let's go, let's bunk." One or 2 days is not going to cause any trouble. And things like, okay, I,
Oh, was it at Nicholas's house? Was it close to? It probably it's Nikki's birthday. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
you know the oxygen thing those guys were doing.
Yes. That. Yes. Yes.
Can we talk about
Were
it?
Were you there?
I was there. It's the
Okay.
very
Yeah.
first birthday party I attended.
Yeah.
You know, it was held at the Anglo Indian dude's house.
Yeah.
So that's my first experience.
Yeah. You can talk about it.
Okay. One of those guys, I don't know who came up with that idea. Like, you have to just, bend down, you know, and then take a deep breath twice. And the third time, when you take a deep breath, you have to hold it. You shouldn't let it out. And just stand against a wall. Okay. Pressed against the wall. And another guy will come and press at the sternum. And you should not let the breathe out. I think it was Jeffrey.
No, I know who it is, but
He
yeah,
fell down.
yeah. It wasn't. It
Twice it did
wasn't
not
Jeff.
work. Maybe
Yeah.
he didn't follow the procedure like it was supposed to be. And then the third time he fell and there was a gash. He fell. And that's one. And the most important thing I want to talk about is not that. The first time I ever danced with a girl. May I say the name?
I would leave the
No.
names out. Yes.
I'm sorry.
I would leave the names out for this party.
Okay, I don't want to say.
You
Uh,
you can say a
shall I say it
girl.
now? Maybe you can edit it later.
I I'll
Oh,
I'll I'll bleep it out. Sure.
okay, sure. It was the girl, like she also came there. And I was sitting quietly at one corner, and all the other guys, Jeffrey and his girlfriend, and I think Kuti also was there, if I'm not wrong. Christopher, was he there? No, he was not there. Only Jeffrey was there. Angelo, and other guys. Aaron Crocker, of course, he was there. I think you were there. I was sitting there, and this girl, she just, my, I think we got introduced by the other folks. So she said, Mike, why are you sitting there? Why didn't you come and dance? I said, to be honest, I don't know what dance is. So please don't mistake me. No problem, I'll teach you. She said. And then somehow she managed to persuade me. And then I agreed to dance, and she just said, like, you have to hold like this and that. So I had to have my, have my hand around
Yeah.
her, and I have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
hold it, and then the song that was played at the time was "Love Will Keep Us Alive" by Eagles.
Classic.
You know, I've never experienced what trembling is or sweating out of fear and things like that, and
Yeah.
it happened that day.
Yeah.
I was so embarrassed and things like that. Somehow, okay, and I said, "Okay, bye," and then we just, you
Yeah.
know, went our way. But I didn't know that it was done to. uh, I mean, shall I say about all those things? Maybe you
Yeah,
can.
that's exactly what I want to talk. But also I want to say, that for you it's probably twofold.
Yes.
For Anglo Indians, it's probably also there's some fear in your first dance, right? But we grew up seeing. It's just that we started off. You
Yeah.
probably started off from zero,
Yes.
going to like a 10. We started
Yes.
off at a 5. We've seen that we've danced with maybe
Yeah.
at home as something, but still as a teenager, you take this across the world, a teen
Yes.
boy, his first dance, right? that's just
Yes.
that's just a global thing, but for
Thanks.
you not having that
It's not alone.
yeah, yeah. But you weren't probably exposed to that culturally. You did not see that in your house. You did not see
Yes.
that, right?
It's not common in our
Yeah,
household or
yeah,
neighborhood.
yeah.
And,
So your shaky knees is totally justified. And but you probably experienced it from a different perspective, which is
that's
which is
right.
exactly which is kind of interesting to hear those perspectives.
It was
Uh,
new to me. Yes, of course,
yeah,
it was new to me because we never had such party. Like I'm feeling very thankful for such experience. Okay, now I got to know like these guys are doing it. That's something nice. I don't have anything to complain about it, but it's a nice experience. Coming of age and things like that. You see how
yeah,
the teens, how they are shown in Hollywood movies and things like that. The coming of age movies and things
yeah,
like that. So those things we may have watched such movies or we may not have watched such movies, but experiencing that firsthand, it was something nice. I liked
yeah.
it.
Yeah. And that's when you started listening to Lobo. First of all, the picture of like listening to Lobo with the sunset over Ambattur Lake is something Lobo would not have ever pictured when he wrote his
I don't
songs.
think so.
Uh, but it's such a beautiful picture. It's such a beautiful contrast.
Yes,
Lobo with the sunset over Ambattur Lake.
yes.
It's such a. Did you have to pass Arconum? Were you past Arconum or before
No, it's
Arconum?
it's 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 right between. I mean, our town was sandwiched right between Arakonam and Central. It's a midway point.
Dude,
It's like
because
29 kilometers.
Arconum is the I tell you, I'm not sure how it is now, but Arconum is like a little oasis of Anglos, the best
Yeah,
community, hands down. Uh, Best place I ever played for New Year's dance or Christmas dance. If I can talk about Arconum,
railway
Anglo
hall
Indians
also.
for a minute, right?
Yeah,
Donford and Denver Concesso had uncles living there who was a driver, and he lived in Arconum.
yeah,
So they said, "Come and play for our dance on New Year's." Right. First of all, let me say, not a good guitarist, not a good band at that point in time, but we went. We went. We landed in Arconum. We went to his aunts and uncle's house, and almost half the community showed up because they were well known there, and they were just hanging out. We immediately, like from second one, right? We landed there, we just felt like family. We just felt like friends. We felt like we belonged. We felt like we knew these people. I'm telling you, dude, just a great, small, tight knit community. We hung out there, we talked, and then in the evening, we all walked through this little, in between all the trees and this old little railway institute that was kind of not too big, but in the middle of like nowhere, right? And only in the distance there was like railway tracks. And
yes.
then everything was like totally different culture around that, in the middle of nowhere, first of all. But this little hall on New Year's Eve was lit up and the music was just thumping and people were dancing and having a
Exactly.
great time. Dude, I think of that and I get goosebumps. The best people, the
You don't
best
have any
place.
footage or pictures of that, right?
No, man. I
Unfortunately,
wish
really.
I almost selfishly want to. I almost selfishly.
Hmm.
I hope that nothing has changed about that place, that it's so pure and so pristine that you can go back and experience that. But I'm pretty sure it has
It's not
changed. But
like that anymore. Because I
uh,
can see it from whenever I pass Arakonam on a train, when I go from, Vellore to Chennai, I can see those old, those railway quarters, the
yeah,
houses that was allotted for the railway employees. It
that's where
was
they
painted
lived.
with
Yeah, yeah.
all. None of them are remaining.
Oof.
None of them are, standing now.
Yeah. But the people, dude, I mean, they were just honestly, man. Like if I did not grow up in Pernambuco, my dream would have been to grow up in like Arconum, like this.
Arakonam. Mario
Very, very.
Rosé.
Was that?
Mario Rosé.
Oh, really? I don't know. I don't remember the names, unfortunately, of anybody. I was
He
maybe.
looks like Peter Green.
I
He was doing BCom in
really.
Loyola. He became a
Also,
very good friend of mine.
also
He's
you
a
have
guitarist
to.
too.
Also, you have to realize that when we went for the New Year's dance, it was there were a lot of substances. So um, so we barely drank water. So just so you know, so my memory names is probably a little cloudy. Um, but the people and the place, dude,
But
phenomenal.
I want you to be very honest about that. Why? When you think about that, you don't have any regrets. Like those things made our
No,
memories.
zero regrets. Yeah,
See, I feel enamored to a certain extent. I was not uh, part of that thing, in the thick of that kind of experience. I was not part of that. But yeah, I've experienced here and there.
yeah,
So to an extent, I feel enamored looking at those guys. Those things, though, like I say, those things make me remember how the Anglo Indians were. Some people may criticize, okay, no, it's culturally it is inappropriate and things like that. I don't think so. That as long as you're not, killing somebody with that kind of an act.
yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah, at times I feel like I feel the pinch, like those folks were not recognized. Due recognition was not given to them to a certain extent. That is my opinion. I may be wrong.
yeah.
Some derogatory terms they come up with. People, I don't want to talk about that, but I feel that it's quite unnecessary. And
I think it was a time, I'll talk about any topic with anyone, but I think be, you have to be fair, and it was a different time. I think it went both ways. You know, I think it went everywhere. I think culturally, ethnically, everybody had terms for everybody. Uh,
that's right.
you know, there was no, and I don't think it was necessarily bad or wrong, because even now I still hold that. I think you can say whatever you want as long as you're not saying it to hurt that person, right?
Yeah.
I can say like, like if I talking like, yeah, I have a friend, Mike. He's an Indian Christian guy, great guy. You know, that's just a categorization of who
That's
you are for context. But if I say like, I have Mike, he's an Indian Christian dude, right? That's right.
it matters.
It matters, right? So I think categorization, just for the lack of a proper definition, coming up with a term. But sure, whether people who said it in a derogatory tone, yeah, absolutely. I think it went. Everybody said that for everybody. I'm sure we have our own terms, you know. But that's just life, There's no perfect world.
Yeah.
Um,
When he talked about Arakonum, I remembered my sister's friend, a close friend. Her name is Venetia Martin, Donfred Concesco, right?
dude, tell me the
Okay.
last name?
Venetia Martin,
Mo- hmm, is that the
Don's cousin.
acronym?
She's
Is
Don's cousin. Donfred.
Is that the Arconum family, the Montines? I
Yes.
think so. Okay, there
Yes.
we go. Yeah.
Uh, my sister and myself were invited by them for a lunch because she invited her. My sister studied at Stella Maris, so that's how they know each other. And she had invited all the friends, and she invited me also. I went there. Her uncle was there, and he's a fantastic guy. He was joking, and he had a baritone voice, thick, tall guy. We were served a nice lunch. We had nice time there chatting, and I loved that house. Those railway, the houses for those railway employees,
Yeah.
surrounded by trees everywhere.
Yes.
Now,
Did you go to Arconum for lunch? Is that where you went?
yes, that's what.
The Arconum.
That's
Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about. Surrounded by trees, right? The old
yes,
railway colony houses.
yes, yes.
Man, that was beautiful.
That's a
Yeah.
beautiful
I'm
place.
glad.
She's a pilot for Air India.
Nice.
Maybe you can get in touch with Don. If you're in touch with Don Francisco, maybe you can have her also
Yeah,
as
that
your
would be
guest.
awesome, man. Yeah, I would love to learn
She's
about
pretty
growing up
big.
in Arconum. I'm not even joking. I tell my kids that I tell my wife that Arconum has a special place. I'm telling you, dude. Just we probably went there only twice,
Yeah,
but something magical about that place, dude. It was like the one of the best times of my life.
I'm very
Yeah,
happy to hear that.
yeah,
Likewise, those big villas and those bungalows in railway colony near
yeah,
Perambo. All
yeah,
those,
yeah.
the area around their house was such a big place with a lot of trees and the shade. All those things are, I think it's gone now. They're
Ouch.
raised down. I don't know how much is still remaining. I'm sure like they've raised down a lot of buildings, all
Yeah.
those buildings.
So what's your circle now, Mike? Anglo Indians, do you feel the Anglo Indian community is thinning around you? People are moving out, or just life is getting
I'm
busy?
still in touch with Aaron. Sorry, Nunu.
Yeah,
Aaron, I spoke to him like a couple of years ago, but we have our numbers. The only thing is I have to just call him anytime he's free and things like that. Nunu, yes, from 1994, touchwood till now, like we are in touch. Yes, you through social media, even though you're far, like geographically, far away, like we are connected on social media. I'm very happy that you connected with me again. Along with the picture of Mrs. D'Souza, I'd like to share the pictures that you've taken at Arambakam near Solupeta.
you have
You,
pictures of those.
yeah, I have that. I don't know, like, do you have time if I try to just look into the share option one more time? Can you see this now?
Yes, I see that.
Okay. The lady with the bobbed hair, no?
Yeah,
Bob
that's
cut or
Mrs.
something. That's Mrs. D'Souza.
Love
And the
it.
very first guy on the left with both the hands on the knees is me.
Cool.
My legs stretched out. Do you want me to? Yeah.
There we go.
This
Oh,
is
that's a
Mrs.
great picture.
1980, circa 82, 83, if I'm not wrong. Maybe during my UKG, it was taken. So this is me.
I love it, man. Coimbatore, Anglo Indian, Mrs. D'Souza. Oh my God, that's Arambakam, yeah, or something like that. Where is that? Is that Arambakam?
Nungamakam.
Nungu?
This is
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
just above the underpass.
Yeah, yeah,
Nungamakam station. My very first year at Loyola, 1995, Ovations time,
yeah.
all black. Ah, here we are. Okay, do you remember any of these guys?
I know Aaron Crocker and I know you, obviously, but everybody
This is
else,
Mario
no.
Rose. Between me and Aaron, the guy who's
Really?
sitting between me and Aaron is Mario Rose. And
Okay,
the guy in the green behind us is Angelo. Angelo, the last name I forgot. His elder brother is a film editor,
interesting.
editor in Tamil
You can,
cinema.
I think if you move your cursor to point to people, I think your cursor, I see your cursor. There we go. Yeah.
This is Angelo.
Okay.
His elder brother is in Tamil cinema now. I think he's done some. He's a big guy. He's a big editor, film editor. Mario Rose, Aaron Crocker, the legend, and there's me. And this guy in specs. He's Jerome Dinesh Vas. He became friends. We became friends he also studied at Baines Baptist Church. So myself, Nono, and this guy were in the same class. Jerome Dinesh Vaz. So this is the Loyola
Interesting.
day.
I love it.
Okay, do you remember this guy? Or do you know him?
Uh, no.
Alistair Dubier.
Has to be a sounds very familiar. Yes.
He did his English literature, I guess. Ah, here we are. Tom Cruise. No, no. Anthony Fosbury, Jeffrey. And this is Rambo, Christopher. This picture was taken
Yeah.
in their house in Nagaland.
Man, that's beautiful.
Yes. Okay, this was taken at Arambakam. I don't know, one of your family or
Yeah.
family members or relatives were living in that town near Gumribundi or
Yeah.
Sulupeta, if I'm not wrong. So you guys have
Arambakam.
gone
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Ah, here we are. It's for
Good
you.
grief. Dude, how did you have to send me these pictures, man?
I'm going to send it. See, these two
Yeah.
pictures which was taken at Arambakam, I did not scan it. I shot it with my mobile phone. I'll scan anyway, I'll send this also. I'll scan it and then I'll send a nice copy of these pictures. Okay. So
Yes,
Angelo
please.
in the middle. I'm sorry to hear what he said about him. Aaron with his rock star, hairstyle. Yeah.
That's great. I love that picture of Mrs. D'Souza, dude. I love hearing the names of people who've impacted you. Any other Anglo Indian teachers who've impacted you?
In the same school, another lady by the name Miss Roxy, she was
Mm,
teaching English. And after some years, she moved to Middle East. I couldn't establish, contact with her. She was a nice lady too. And whenever I remember Roxy, we had a kind of green board with a fabric like a felt paper, and the alphabet was taught with those you know wooden cut pieces. The shape of alphabet will be cut in wood, and that will stick to the board. See, back in 82, 83, it was not the regular board, blackboard. So those things have, that's how they engaged those little minds. So we'll be fascinated to see those colors, the shapes, like how it served its purpose and things like that. So it never made us feel bored. And Miss Roxy was the one who was teaching English alphabet with that. So that's how I remember her.
yeah. So
Uh,
let me ask you a question, right? So you're walking down the street,
yeah.
right? You see a bunch of dudes come in. Are you uh, can you tell just by looking at them mannerisms, the way they dress? Can you say like that dude's an Anglo, possibly an Anglo?
90% of the time.
I got some other quick fire questions for
Y-
you.
Sure, please.
What does what when you think Anglo Indian, right? What do you think? Like, what's your definition of Anglo Indian? Like, it doesn't have to be an official thing and all, but just your like, if so, if you were telling someone in your friend group, like, yeah, I hung up with some Anglo Indian friends, like, what's an Anglo Indian? How would you describe?
Like, it, if you want me to say like fun-loving people, like they're vibrant, jolly good fellows, energy. Through Mrs. D'Souza, I understood what energy and her dedication and her, I don't know, so I don't want to sound somebody who's biased towards the community or things like that, but they're like, what, how can I say, from my own experience, if you
Not
want me to
the
say,
characteristics, not the traits, but how would you define an Anglo Indian? Like, what is an Anglo Indian? Fun-loving people? Yeah, they're fun-loving people all across the world.
yeah, all across, but
Mm,
Anglo Indians, I don't know how to, communicate that.
And that's the beauty of it. You don't need to even, right? Yeah,
Yes,
right.
I don't
W-
know. Like, I'm
With
just clueless. I'm sorry if I've disappointed
hey,
you.
no, no, no. See, I love this because I'll tell you a story, right?
Yeah.
Um, when I first moved here to the U.S., right to Atlanta, and I was talking to my niece, right? She was little. She was like 4 years old or 5 years old, maybe, you know. And her dad is obviously American. He's white. He was in the U.S. Army, and he was bald, right?
Mhm.
And and I was asking her, like, making just kind of like, what's the biggest difference between your dad and me, right? I thought she was going to say, you're brown, right? The right, the first thing she said, you have hair, right? And that's right. So the obvious things, in innocence, right? People don't notice the obvious things, and maybe that's the beauty of it, right? If
Yeah.
right, when you're hanging out, you just don't notice the obvious. You just say, like, what's the biggest difference? You guys like to have fun, and that is just the most obvious thing, as opposed to any deeper differences. Going looking for it, right? Maybe
Right.
there's a beauty in that.
So, well, like I said before, they're the bridge, like between us, like a window to us, and they show certain things that are Western.
Awesome, dude. So, did you pick up any? Last question for you. Did you pick up any Anglo Indian sayings that you use in your life?
Like what?
Like anything? Like uh, any?
Maybe I'm ignorant. I don't know.
What? Oh, did you notice anything? The way Aaron Crocker spoke, any sayings that he had? We probably honestly, within our friend group, we probably did not. The stereotypical Anglo Indian sayings did not come out as much, I would imagine.
Not much. I
Yeah.
don't remember. Maybe even if they've come across. Like, can you just hint on some of those things like you mentioned? Like, can you
Um,
give an example?
like we would say, "What child?
Cha-
What man?
Of
What
course.
man?"
Uh,
Right?
what
Stuff like
man?
that.
Yes. Uh, One of my friends, his name is Dwayne Nelson. He's an Anglo Indian guy. He's from Ero. He's still in touch with him. I attended his wedding, and that's one of those Anglo Indian wedding, like 2 or 3 weddings I've attended, and that's one major thing. I had a very good time there. Met a lot of interesting people. The kind of party they had after the wedding, the after wedding party, and things like that. So yes, if you want me to say, if you still insist, like what I think about Anglo, is like the kind of energy and vibrance. Um, you know, jolly good. If you ask me, I'd say they're jolly good people.
Yeah.
They're
What
talking
did
or
you
they're singing or
notice?
dancing. I'm sorry.
What do you think is like when you went to the wedding, right? What do you think are like the biggest differences that you were as an outsider, maybe not maybe not outsider, but the first time witnessing a wedding, right?
Yeah.
How did it feel? What did you notice? Like, oh wow, they do this. Oh wow, like what was that? What did you notice?
Bride and groom kissing.
Oh, really?
That's one thing. Yeah, because we don't do that.
Yeah.
Yes, that was quite different. We won't have a party like that. The after wedding party, the hall, the ballroom dance, and all those things. The wedding. What do you call the line dance or train? What do you call it? Sorry,
I'll get it. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yes. Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And throwing the bouquet, like the bride will throw the bouquet, right? I think those Anglo folks have done that. We don't do that. We have not done that. I don't know how it's happening now. All those things is so. If I look at all those things, then okay, that's how it's happening in the Western world. So that's why I say they're like a bridge. Like not many people would have come across band singers like Charlie Pride. I didn't know who Charlie Pride was. And no, he used to talk about all those things.
it's called the
Western
Grand
music.
March
Grand March.
the Grand March,
Okay.
where when everybody dances, they form a line. It gets bigger and bigger. They
Yes.
are the MC. Yeah, yeah,
Yes. All those things. Yes.
yeah.
And of course, they're dressing. Uh, Nowadays, all the ladies, all girls in other communities, they're also wearing skirt and the top, like how the Anglo Indians were wearing. So if you watch a Tamil movie or any Indian movie, if they want to show a character that is an Anglo Indian, uh, in many of the occasions it'll be like a stereotype, like
Yeah,
typist or a secretary.
yeah,
So their prominence, like it was not touched upon the way that it should have been shown. Like
yeah. I
they
think
just
that's fascinating. Like if you watch old Tamil movies, if they
yes,
wanted to show like
Eat
somebody was
man,
an
in the man, all those things.
yeah, if
They
somebody
just
was an Anglo Indian in the movie, they would be drastically. the dress would be different. There would be a skirt, and
Yes.
they'll speak English, even if it wasn't not an English speaking actor. It'll be like a little broken English, but that's the way to show like, hey, this is an Anglo Indian, this is not, so
Yes.
the viewer can understand and make that distinction, right? Nothing wrong with that, but I think it's good storytelling. They used the tools that they could and they solved a problem, and we understood what they were trying to say. But that's
Yeah.
how people would, as an outsider, like, we need an Anglo Indian. What's an Anglo Indian like? Put a skirt on this lady, let us say two words in English within a
Yes.
Tamil movie context, boom, Anglo Indian, done deal, right? It's
Right.
fascinating. I'm glad you brought that up.
And I'm very happy like those chorus singers were used in many of those songs, old songs until some earlier movies of Ilayaraja's composition. So whenever you hear that, you can clearly say that's an Anglo Indian chorus. So that's something nice. It has become part of our, you know, music loving days and things
Yeah.
like that. Uh,
Do you
that's
know?
why I wanted to reach out to Mr. Harry McClure
Yeah.
to know about the you know lives of those people. Like not many of them are in touch. Like he tried, he has tried some time ago, but it didn't help him much. So if at all I come across such people, like if they get to know those people who have you know who've been part of the choir and chorus, and if one or two people are in the scene, I love to meet them and I want to talk to them about their experience, and I love to shoot the pictures of that.
Yeah. And I think this is a good time. Mike is a huge cinebuff, like historical stuff, and he's always fascinated. He's always texting me like, "Hey, what this song is from? Which movie?" He likes that. So, uh, do you know of any like Anglo Indians who were in Tamil movies? Do you know them by name, like any actresses, or especially in the 80s, like the older act, not present day?
No Indian actors and actresses
Yeah,
in Indian movies, you're saying?
yeah. I'm pretty sure they
I
had a stage name, though.
No, I'm
Or
not remembering.
singers or anybody in the film industry.
See, Andrea Jeremiah, she's an Anglo Indian. She's an actress. Andrea Jeremiah. Jeffrey Warden, is a famous choreographer, dance choreographer, and he has appeared in some movies also, Tamil movies also. Jeffrey Warden. He I don't know whether he's still there on what's the name? Madhavaram. My friend's wife's side, like my friend's wife is an Anglo Indian girl. Her family and relatives were friends, I mean neighbors of Jeffrey Warden. And during one of those Christmases when I visited my friend, they gave me a bottle of homemade wine that was made at Jeffrey Warden's house.
Yeah, homemade wine.
Yeah,
Love
it
it.
was
Yeah,
fantastic. Jeffrey Warden, Andrea Jeremiah, Samantha Ruth. She's from Palawaram. She was one of those top heroines. Now she's not active. Like she's active with Surya and other guys, some leading guys.
interesting.
And Samantha Ruth. Do you know David Fritz Rao? His brother, his twin brother, he has appeared in one movie, Tamil movie, Ratchagan. He appears for a few seconds. Like but he moved to the US and he was in the US Army.
Really
And he passed away in an accident, unfortunately, in 2006. He was David Fritzrow, if I remember correctly. His family is the one that's running Lady Andal School in Chetpet, Harrington Row.
interesting.
He also belongs to a very prominent family. His younger sister, she's a radio jockey,
Really
Paloma. Paloma.
interesting. So,
Yes.
so your friend was he an Indian Christian dude? What was his who
Which one?
married
I'm
the
sorry.
Anglo? The friend who married an Anglo?
Uh
Uh,
huh.
was he
He's
an
a Tamil
Indian?
guy. He's
He's
a
a
Tamil
Tam.
guy, CSI, Protestant.
Do you know? I know you can't speak for him, but what's the general feeling like in the Indian Christian community if somebody wanted to marry or date an Anglo Indian? Is it like is there some
The
hesitancy?
usual objection will come. Oh, their lifestyle is different. Uh, you know, I don't want to go beyond this, but
Yeah,
the objection will be
yeah.
will be all those usual.
Historically, let me tell you, like historically, it goes the other way as well. Like
Yes,
not across the board, but
yes,
there is some, and I'll tell you, it's valid, right? It's not invalid both ways. You know, I think whenever, like when I was about to marry my wife, right, who's American, I had good people in my life who were telling me like, hey, is this a good cultural mix, right? So it goes anywhere when you're committing to someone from another
yeah,
culture, right? So I think that's wise. I don't think it's a bad thing at all, you know.
mhm,
So people think it's a stigma, right? To think
yes,
like, hey, I'm an Indian Christian, or I'm a Hindu, I'm a Muslim, and I'm dating this Anglo Indian. It's not. It is a wise thing to consider it, right?
yeah,
So it's so you might be uncomfortable with it, and that's fine. But I'm saying it's okay, as long as people think it's a stigma, and
yeah,
people think like, oh, this might be racist, this might be bad. No, it's not. It's a wise thing to do. If
yeah,
you look at like I was marrying my wife when people consulted with me, and I think they're very wise. It's a cultural
yeah,
mix, right?
yes,
You
yes,
know, so it's a wise thing. It's not a stigma at all.
yes.
But I don't want to force you to talk about it. But
No,
I would talk
if
about
you
it with
ask me,
anyone.
like, I'm very open about it. Like,
Yeah,
what I believe is you cannot just pinpoint at one person and say he's good or he's bad. Like, and this community has this type of people. You cannot, fix an opinion like that. Good and bad is everywhere.
yeah, exactly. And I can see that it's totally valid, because I listen. I think the dances are loud, the parties are loud, and that people see that, and I think it's valid, and people, conservative family will be like, hey, I don't want my son to marry in this what seems totally doing the things that we don't do. I think that's very wise. Well, dude, um, thanks for chatting. I think we learned a lot. But
Profound thanks to you.
Mike, before we go, tell your studio, to your business. What do you do? And if people are in the area, how can they hit you? Do you do Anglo Indian? Do you do wedding photography?
Yes. Any
Okay,
wedding, not just Anglo, any wedding, Christian, Hindu, Muslim, whatever,
there we go.
anything that can be photographed.
Yeah. There we go. Amazing. But yeah, anybody but Anglos in the area looking for a photographer, getting married, you know, and you want a photographer, Mike. How can they hit you up? I'll share your website and all that in the
Yes.
comments below. But yeah,
Yes.
tell us about your business. What do you do? And we'll end it there.
Yes, sure. See, I opened the studio in Vello. It's on VAT Road. Okay. In 2021. He took up photography as a profession in 2014. I didn't have a studio at that time. I was doing as a freelancer, like whatever events that come up, I shoot corporate events, music shows, weddings, ear piercing, anything A to Z of any event. All the events I shoot. I love shooting people, portraits, and you know, music shows also is one of my all-time favorites. Weddings, yes. Right now, wedding is bringing money for me.
Have you
I
done an
enjoy,
Anglo wedding yet?
I didn't do a wedding as such, but I did the engagement of my friend Dwayne in Erode, but not the wedding. Yes, it was a fine experience. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
well, Mike's a pro. Maybe if any Anglo is getting married, he can that can be his first Anglo wedding gig, and he's totally.
Yes.
Maybe Mike can have his second dance at the wedding. um, Mike's totally. He gets it. He knows the slang. He can hang. Um,
Wow,
you can just
it's a
call
nice
up and say,
strategy.
"What child you want to do my wedding?" So gets it. Yes. So
I'd
hit
love to do
Mike
that.
up. I'll share all his information and his work, and do send the pictures as well, Mike.
I'm
Dude,
going to send it. The
thanks.
moment we conclude this, I'll send it to you. Shall I send it via WhatsApp or?
Yeah, if it's a few, just you can just send it to WhatsApp. But I want to thank you, man, for being brave and chatting about touchy subjects. I know some of them were touchy, and you know. But if there's any questions, I know I asked you a lot, right? Do you want to ask me anything? You can time to put me on and ask me any touchy subjects,
Yeah,
any touchy
I'd love
questions.
to do that. Not now, maybe later.
Okay. Okay.
I'll send it across. But my request is, I hope I've spoken to you about it, but still, just like a gentle reminder for you, if possible, try to bring the gentleman, Mr. Harry McHugh.